What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and being involved in the music scene, I've had the opportunity to make friends of places all across the globe. But this might be a first, making some friends of hell here. So, uh, without further ado, I'd like to, and you're going to have to help me with pronouncing your name correctly because I don't
Well,
want to butcher
let's call it Tas. Tas.
Taz.
Yeah,
I'm here, I'm here with Taz from Friends of Hell. How you doing?
I'm very good, man. How you doing?
Good, good. Um, so usually when I have somebody on for the first time, I want to get a quick background before we get into the meat and potatoes. So, like, originally, what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was a kid,
Yeah,
I wanted to play in bands and do drawings.
yeah.
Yeah,
You followed through with that. Nice.
yeah.
So then, even back at a young age, like you knew music was going to be your calling, huh?
Yeah, well, I started to love music very early. I must have been like 5, 6 years old.
And do you recall like some of the music that you first got were attracted to?
Yeah. It was from the vinyl records of my brother when I was a kid back in the 70s. And I remember specifically three bands I loved from his record collection was Uriah Heep, Deep Purple, and Black Sabbath.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, Black Sabbath's always in there. It sounds like.
yeah.
And then when you decided that you wanted to start playing an instrument, how old were you then, and what attracted you to
I
that?
was around that age because my father used to play, like classical guitar, and he always had a few guitars around. And I started to mess around with them, and then I realized I don't like guitar so much. I used to love playing things in one string, so I realized I like bass more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed easier to me than chords.
And then when did you start first playing in like your first band?
My first band was like a kind of hardcore punk slash thrash band back in '87.
Oh yeah, what was the name of that band?
It was called Porphyria.
And how was that the music scene? Now, where are you from again?
I'm from Athens, from Greece.
Okay. And that's when you first started playing out in Greece too. What was that scene like?
Well, there were a lot of bands, but we used to play kind of primitive. And with my first band around '87, there I remember we used to share the same rehearsal studio with a band you might know. They called Rotting Christ. It's a black
Okay,
metal
yeah.
band. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when was it where you as time went on and you were playing like hardcore, when did you get more into like the metal classic type?
I always used to like classic heavy metal, as I said, since I was a kid. But then by the time I was 12 years old, the thrash explosion happened, and the first thrash bands and hardcore punk and all this. And for us, it was also always like kind of the same scene. Um, so I used to in the early '80s, I used to love bands like Slayer or Possessed or Creator, but at the same time, I would also listen to Iron Maiden or Judas Priest.
Nice. And then when did you get into playing with Electric Wizard?
This happened when I first moved to London, and I lived in London for 10 years, and I got introduced to them by a mutual friend we have. And at the time, they needed a bass player, so they asked me to join, and I was happy about it, of course.
And then when did you go off to be play with Satan's Wrath?
Satan's Wrath, I started again. I still was living in London. When I quit playing from Electric Wizard, I I wanted to make an album like a band, like it's more like when the thrash kind of and slash death metal music I like a lot. So I didn't want to play anymore, like, kind of slower stuff. So I formed Satan's Wrath because I wanted to play more, like fast kind of thrash things.
And how did during that time frame, like how many places did you get to go like tour and see?
With Electric Wizard, we toured a lot. I mean, we played all over Europe. We made 2 European tours, then we made a lot of festivals. We got to play in pretty much all Europe.
And what was that experience like for you, growing up and first just liking music, but then getting to actually become a touring musician? How was that transition for
Yeah,
you?
yeah, it was excellent. I loved it. Obviously, I didn't know. I mean, I wasn't sure, but it's hard work. You have to wake up early. You have to carry the equipment. You have to do everything. It's not so glamorous as it seems, unless if you are a huge band and you have a huge road crew and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And then so like when did let's talk now about your current project, Friends of Hell. Like did you when did that come to be and how did that come together for you?
That started around 2019, I think. I had the idea, to make a band with my friend. He's a guitarist, John Dix. And when I used to live in Barcelona, we played in a couple of bands together. And then I had this idea, maybe we make another band. And I talked to him, and he agreed. And we agreed, maybe this time we play a little bit slower. I didn't want to play another thrash metal band. And he loved the idea, and then we went from there.
Nice. And so like you put this project together, you guys have been working with uh what's it been like working with Albert Witchfinder?
It's great. I know Albert many years. Obviously, he's completely crazy, as everyone knows, but it's fun. It's he can get very difficult because he's very anal about things. He's like like a perfectionist. He wants exactly this thing. And if it's not, then he's like, oh, he makes problems, which is
Yeah.
a good thing in the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then so you guys put out your EP now. It's coming out later this month with
It's an album. It's a full LP. It's an
oh,
album.
full LP. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's getting ready to come out on Rise Above Records. What can fans expect and what kind of message are you trying to send with this album or hoping that they'll get out of it?
Well, I don't really like messages, but if you like really like heavy, true heavy metal, like you, you're gonna love it.
Nice. And then what's it been like working with Rise Above Records? How's that been for you guys?
It's great. It's great. I know. Obviously, I know Lee Dorian for many years, even back from the Electric Wizard days. He's a great guy, and he's a total professional. And also, he's a guy you can trust. He's very trustworthy, and he's great. He really loves the album, so he's really up for it. So up to now, is great, really.
Nice. Yeah, it's always good to have them definitely behind, loving the art, and that means they'll push it a little bit more if they're
Yeah,
passionate
yeah, yeah,
about it too.
yeah. He really loves the album, and as I said before, we're good friends. He's doing a great job.
Good to hear. And then I noticed like what listening to it reminded me it has that old school metal sound. Um but I also watching some of the visual too I was getting from it as well as with the sound. It was reminding me of like the 70s horror Hammer films, you
Yeah,
know. It got that vibe from it. Was that something you guys were trying to do or
yeah,
was
yeah,
part of
yeah.
the inspiration?
Obviously, we're big fans of '70s horror films and stuff. And the whole concept, the music and the lyrics, they fit these kind of themes, like like horror films and satanic imagery and all that. So that was the plan from the beginning. You know.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely pull that out. I definitely was getting that vibe, and
Ah,
that was
great.
like the
Thank you.
stuff that I grew up. There was like the basic Universal, like Dracula and Frankenstein and stuff, but it was always like the Christopher Lee and Hammer films, like the Satanic Rites
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Dracula. That was like always attracted me as a kid.
yeah,
So I was
yeah,
getting that those same kind of feelings listening to the album.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't top Hammer films. Hammer films were the best, But obviously, there are other like 70s horror stuff that we like a lot that they're not so known or famous.
yeah,
Like
like
Hammer
what?
films. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And then now uh with this album coming out, you guys have some tours lined up and anything scheduled to play
No,
to
no,
promote
not
it?
yet. We don't have scheduled anything like that yet. But we all said we agreed like if something good happen and then there's a good offer or a festival, maybe we're gonna be up for it.
Nice. And then like is there a particular song? I mean, I know it's like almost asking you like who your favorite child is, which is always tough, but from this album, is there a particular song that you're like really looking forward to playing in front of a live crowd to just see the
I would,
reaction?
yeah, I probably Shadow of the Impaler is very heavy and it's got this nice feeling to it.
Nice, and you want to see that reaction or get that reaction from the audience too.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is that when we filmed the video for the album, the Shadow of the Impaler song, we had to play it so many times, obviously for the video, and all this time we used to drink, we were drinking. So the last 2 3 takes, we were a bit, like drunk almost, and at some point we almost thought we were playing live.
Nice. I'll
Yeah,
have to go back and watch that now.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
I know some of the behind the scenes.
Yes.
And then so like for fans that are familiar with your work and want to try and pre-order maybe this since it comes out here in a matter of weeks, where would you send them?
To Rise Above Records, all the pre-orders are there.
Nice.
And there's two editions. There's the Die Hard with there's a poster and a patch, and then there's the normal edition.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was so as I was like looking a little bit into you to get ready for this interview, I also noticed something a little it's kind of off the subject of the album and stuff, but
Mm.
about you being in into the martial arts like in Ninjutsu.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a love of yours. You want to elaborate a little bit about like what attracted you to that and that lifestyle?
um, well, first of all, I really love like Japanese culture in general, and but that was a very strange thing that when my older son, was 3 years old, at some point he woke up and he was insisting that he wants to be a ninja and study these things. And in the beginning, I thought maybe he saw some Power Rangers series or something. So I said, yeah, whatever, okay, he'll get out of it. But then he would insist every day, I want to be a ninja, I want that, I want that. So then I looked for a ninjutsu school, I found one, and then I took him there. I said, okay, look, there you go, get inside and join them. And he said, no, no, you're going to do it too. You're going to do it with me. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. I'm like, man, come on. I'm an old man. I can't do this shit. He said, no, 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 you will do it. So then I said, oh, I just accepted, you know. It's very
That's
painful. But
yeah, no, that's beautiful though. I love hearing that. It's like I mean, I do jujitsu here in the states
nice.
with my youngest daughter,
Yeah.
and it's good to have that bond, with your
Yes,
child,
it's
and
great.
and I'm approaching 49, and I feel every bit of it,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so I can relate, but but there's nothing compared to watching your child come up, and
it's a
something they enjoy and have that with them. So I thought
yeah,
that was
it's a great
really
thing to
cool.
do. It's a great thing to do with your children. Like martial arts, if you do it together, it's a great thing.
Yeah, yeah, because it's for me, and I'm probably maybe it's similar with you too. It's just like it's more about watching their journey and watching them grow and become more
Yeah, yeah,
confident.
yeah.
I'm along for the ride, but you know,
Yes.
but I want to see them succeed and do better. You know, while they're young.
Yes, yes.
Makes you kind of look back and be like, man, I wish I would have got into it at a younger age or something. But
Yeah, yeah. I said this
yeah.
1,000 times.
But how would you say that being involved has it personally affected your journey, or what positive changes have you gotten out of it?
From ninjutsu.
Yeah,
Ninjutsu is a very specific um, thing. It even affects the way you walk or think. It has a lot of to do with being conscious about things, and then it has to do also with the subconscious. It affects all aspects of your life, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know any other martial arts. I never tried,
yeah.
but
But I mean, you definitely feel like almost gives you kind of helps provide like an inner peace, and then also a consciousness to being aware more of your surroundings, maybe, or just more
yes,
confidence
yes,
to walk into. You
yes, and
know,
also you are more observative. For example, I remember when I first started, and then our sensei said, for example, to understand a little bit of few things, he said, let's say you walk into a club or a bar. He said, what's the first thing you're going to look for? And then I said, the barman to give me a drink. And he said, no, you have to look for the fire exit.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Know
You
your
become more
surroundings.
aware of things, of
Yeah, no,
dangers, or.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I bet. I see. I have two daughters, so I've always tried to instill that in them. Like look out, know your surroundings, know your exit plans, and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
It's definitely the things we kind of take for granted. Like I was like you, man. It's like, all right, where's the bartender? I'm ready for my
yeah.
drink, or whatever.
And
But
also, there's the things you say that it will never happen to me, but then it happens.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
got to
yeah,
be ready. Yeah.
exactly. That's cool. Yeah, I saw that when I was looking up some of your videos and stuff, and that caught my eye, and I found that to be intriguing. So I definitely wanted
Mhm.
to touch base with
You
you
did
on
good. You
that.
did good.
Nice. And then obviously big fan of tattoos. What originally attracted you to tattoos?
Again, the same is the Japanese culture, because I only do Japanese tattoos. So since I was a kid, I was attracted to the culture of Japan, and that's also in combination with me drawing since I was a kid. It evolved to that.
Nice. And now, have you ever had the opportunity to actually go and visit Japan?
Yeah, yeah. We went 2019 for training for ninjutsu with a grandmaster there.
Oh, nice. And what was
Yeah,
that experience like for you?
yeah. It was great. It's crazy. Japan is a crazy place. It's very different from Europe.
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to go there yet, but definitely on my list
Yeah,
eventually.
it's amazing. Yeah,
But and then with this album coming out, is there any kind of like goals that you guys have set for going into 2022 with the band?
yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Made a small interruption.
Oh yeah.
What did you ask?
What kind of like goals do you guys does the band have now? I mean, the album's coming out. What kind of
Yeah,
goals do you have for the rest of 2022?
yeah. Well, we take things easy. Like let's we're just waiting for the release, and then we see things from there. We just take it easy. We don't say, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that." We're also a little bit older. We're like everyone is like 50-year old, so we're like, okay, when it's released, then we see if everything is good. We
Nice.
take one thing at a time.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, not- yeah, and it comes with age. It comes with the wisdom. It's like, all right, not everything's got to be like a rush and impulsiveness.
yeah, yeah.
Back in
Also,
the day.
we don't think we're not like 20-year old. We don't think we're gonna take over the world with this band and stuff. It's okay if people like it. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. And then if people want to like get to know more about the band itself and support you guys or follow you and check you guys out, where would you send them?
I probably send them to our Instagram. It's Friends of Hell Official, and Rise Above Records if they want to get the album or a T-shirt or stuff like this.
Nice. Awesome.
As before, we're not very crazy on social media and stuff like this. I mean, we do basic
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's kid stuff.
Yeah,
I gotcha. Hey, well, I know you got another interview you got to get ready for and stuff, but
yeah,
I appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad we worked out the technical difficulties. We were able to talk to each other, and
that's
it
great.
was
Thank
good
you
to,
for having me.
yeah, yeah, and it was good to hear about your Ninjutsu journey with your son, and yeah, thanks again for your time, and you take care. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.